So we're here with Jesse, an alumnus of Martingrove Music. Jesse, why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, guys? I'm Jesse Shakunda is my last name. I feel like I graduated Martin Grove in 2019. Music program, strings, stage band, the whole shebang.
Would you play in strings?
I was on cello. I was a very average cello player. And then in stage band, I was on electric bass.
Good times. I remember that.
That's where we met.
Yeah. So, and what are you doing now? Like, what program are you in? What school?
So I actually just graduated from a private college called the Harris Institute, and they specialize not in musical performance per se. So no one really is playing any instruments. There's two sides to the school. There's a artist management side, which is your legal stuff, contracts, publishing, masters, yada yada, and then the audio engineering stuff, which is making things louder, pushing the buttons, turning the knobs, all that kind of stuff. Composition, sort of, production, songwriting, the fun stuff. I'll say it's the fun stuff.
That's really fascinating. There's so much that goes into that you don't really realize when you're just like listening on your headphones.
Absolutely, man. Producers and engineers need more credit. I'll say it now. Maybe I'm thirsty for it, but we do a lot of
What
it.
would you say is the best thing about your program in here?
Oh, I really enjoyed it, man. I think I like how non-traditional of an approach it was to education and musical education.
What do you mean by
Um,
that?
Instead of being really good at one thing, sort of the philosophy of the school was that you should be a little bit good at everything. So you're always able to kind of fill any space. Or when you get a phone call saying, hey, we need this guy to sell band t-shirts, you can do that. Or we need this guy to master this album. Can you do that? And it's like, sure, if it's music related, you can do it and you're not lost, then you're not confused, and you have that kind of strong fundamental thing, as well as the fact that none of the instructors at the school are actually professors, so to speak. They're just real people who are successful, very successful in the industry. For example, the guy who taught us studio design and acoustics has built studios for Jay-Z, and he built Dead Mouse's studio, which is nuts. You got to Google it. There's David Quilico, who teaches A&R, like picking songs for artists and discovering new artists, and he is vice president of Sony Music in Canada. So like, who else would you want to hear that from, right? Sort of that kind of thing. The guy who taught us how to mix, he's recorded some small artists you may have heard of, like Kanye West, Green Day, Shania Twain, 50 Cent. Like the list just goes on. Blink 182 from wherever. Um, so it just felt like it wasn't really doing that university thing where you learn all this kind of theory that you may or may not need, and then you also have to take Latin as an elective or something. It just felt to the point and good information.
That's so true. I think that like non-traditional approach, because like so much of working in music nowadays is like networking. It's like, can you show up to the gig? Can you be called for anything? It's not just like, can you play your one instrument amazingly well? It's all about that other side of it.
Absolutely. You can be not a very good musician and still make really good music.
A lot of
And
the,
it was a 2-year program to do both sides instead of 4. So I'm done school now. I don't have to do that anymore. That's very appealing to me. You can be done at 20 and not 22, and just start your life and start building that network and start your projects.
so what would you say is one piece of advice you have to anyone who's taking or thinking of taking music?
Um, hmm. It's maybe too simple, but I just say do it. Take music, man. You have enough courses in school where you sit down and take notes and then you do the test. Um, it's going to be a different experience if you've never done it. You're going to learn something. You're going to train a different part of your brain. You might love it and want to do it for the rest of your life. the opportunity, it's just, it's different. It hits different. Trying to think if there's anything else, but yeah, that's my oversimplified answer is just take it, try it. At least try it.
So thinking back to your time in high school, if you could change just one thing about your high school experience, what would you change?
I probably, if we're going to keep this music related too, I probably wish I went a little harder in music theory, to be honest. It hasn't completely impacted me. I can still get around, but I have to do a lot of stuff by ear more, which is handy to have. But sometimes you just want to like build a bloody seventh chord or something and do smooth voice leading. And it's like, I kind of know it, but I don't really know it. Um, I'd say that's the thing. I didn't take high school too seriously in general, and I don't think you have to, but I think you should be aware of what might actually help you in the future. And even if you don't want to do it, get on that because future you will thank you.
It's so true. It's like you have to really know like what's important, and it's hard to know when you're so young. But like thinking about that at least is the first step.
For sure.
And with
Absolutely.
theory, it's also the thing that like, everyone takes it and they're like, I like this is boring. I don't care. I want to just play my music. But then like once you actually get to the jam session, once you get to like writing your own music, it's just like everything's so much easier. This is fantastic. I think we learned a lot about like Martingrove music and also like what you can do after high school. There's not just one path you can take. So thank you so much for your time, and this is great. Thanks.
Yeah, of course, man. I hope everyone stops coughing on each other and COVID can be done and music programs can get back to normal because it's one of the best parts of my entire high school thing. If there's anything to take away from this, take music, y'all. Just take it, man. Daniel agrees, right, Daniel?
Of course I do. Yeah.
There we go. Thanks for having me.